NBANBA.lt, tavo NBA pasaulis.
Tipping off the dime, KG and the C's look to remember the Alamo, eyeing 6 straight. It's Melo and the Nuggets, D-Wade and the Heat running a mile high. The Rockets and Warriors go down to the wire, and the night's top throwdowns. It's time for the dime.
If I couldn't play basketball at the level that I'm accustomed to, then I wouldn't have made the decision. I didn't want to come back and embarrass myself. I know I can play.
Welcome to the Daily Dime. I'm Jim Basquall. Ahead in the show, AI gets emotional about his return to Philly. But first up, two of the league's better teams running from the Alamo. It's KG and the C's, TD and the Spurs. Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan have been going at each other since the big tickets days in Minnesota. Thursday, his Celtics were riding a 5-game win streak heading in. Ray Allen and the Celtics running with the Spurs. They do it from San Antonio. Opening quarter, Paul Pierce off the steal. Boston has a 2-on-1. Rajon Rondo for Allen, who throws it down. He had 15, had the C's up a half dozen. Now, San Antonio rookie DeJuan Blair played a good game. 18 points, 11 rebounds, but this is a play he wished he had back. Brian Scalabrine misfires from 3. Blair tips it in his own bucket. Again, he had 18 points, 11 boards for the Spurs, though that 2 for the Celtics. Second quarter, Manu Ginobili finishing the run terrifically. Around his back, he lays it in, had the Spurs within 7. Boston too tough. Rajon Rondo serves it up for Kevin Garnett. KG on the finish plus the foul. He had 20 points, 7 boards. Then Rasheed Wallace. He loves that 3. That comes from the top of the key. It had the Celtics up a dozen. 2 minutes to go. It's Rondo who pull up on the foul line jumper. Celtics take this one 90-83.
Defensively, where do you think you guys are?
We're sound. Not where we want to be, but we're sound. We're a team still in progress, and we're still trying to work the kinks out of this new roster, but we're very sound. Now, you see tonight, when we're talking, communicating to one another, we're pretty hard to beat.
It's Carmelo Anthony and the Nuggets, Dwayne Wade and the Heat. They run a mile high. Second quarter, Denver's bench coming up big. Michael Beasley thinks he's free for the flush, but Chris Anderson would have none of it. Take another look as the Birdman extends his wings. Denver up 16 at the break. Third quarter, it's Melo. A wing tray, he had 22. His team was up 17 and rolling. Now check out this sequence. Kenyon Martin, his defense. He gets to Mario Chalmers, thinks it's a clean block, but the official calls a foul. Martin none too pleased. His coach, though, even worse. Martin restrains George Karl so he doesn't get teed up or get tossed out. Later, it's Martin. Thought there was a little too much contact on the bucket there by Dwayne Wade. He gets a tee from the official, and then he'll get another tee. George Karl nowhere to back his player like Martin did to him. Martin ejected from the game, but the Nuggets nonetheless still get away with an easy victory.
A lot of discussion at halftime with Kenny Smith and Ernie in the studio. Is this Denver team an elite team? The way you're playing now, do you feel it is?
I think so. I think we're still a work in progress, obviously. But we just got to be more consistent on every single night. But I do think that we're an elite basketball team.
With the first pick in the 1996 NBA Draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Allen Iverson from Georgetown University.
Allen Iverson will again lace him up for the Sixers, and his return to the franchise he played with for a decade was clearly emotional for AI, as the former MVP and 10-time All-Star said he's ready to prove he can still play as he addressed Take Two in the city of brotherly love.
When I had the opportunity to come back here, it was just something I couldn't turn it down, and I'm just happy. I created like with the mistakes that I made in my life. I created a picture of me that's is not me. You know, I did a lot of things when I was young that I'm not proud of, but I think, you know, those things helped me to be the man that I am now. And you know, the last couple of years has just been hell because, you know, all I want to do is play basketball and, you know, help the guys that I play with. If I couldn't play basketball at the level that I'm accustomed to, then I wouldn't have made a decision. I didn't want to come back and embarrass myself. You know I can play, and I'm going to prove that.
That first game comes Monday against another of his former teams, the Nuggets. Iverson played 135 games for George Karl, averaging nearly 26 points a contest. On Wednesday, it's the Pistons that come to town. Last year, AI played in 54 games with Detroit, but saw his productivity take a downward turn. Monte Ellis and the Warriors home to the Rockets. Pick it up second quarter. Houston up 5. Trevor Ariza off the steal. He'll get it back with a finish on the other end. He had 18 and had the Rockets ahead 58-51. Third quarter, Anthony Morrow for Vladimir Radovanovic, who finds the twine from deep. He had 20, had the Warriors up 2. Later in the third, Radovanovic, the alley-oop for Ellis, who finishes it off on the other end. He scored 2 dozen at Golden State up 77-74. Little over a minute to go in the game, even at 107. Aaron Brooks for Kyle Lowry, who somehow gets that shot to fall in traffic. Houston up a deuce. Warriors right back the other way. It's Morrow into the lane on the finish. He scored 21, had the game even at 109. But in the final seconds, it's Brooks, this time calling his own number, and he's fouled by C.J. Watson. He'd sink both freebies, and that was the difference in the game. Houston 111-109. Our top 3 dunks begins in the city by the bay. Golden State's Monte Ellis finding Corey Maggette, who soars for the tomahawk finish. Ellis to Maggette team up for our second runner-up. Let's head to San Antonio for number 2. The Celtics running. Rajon Rondo feeding Ray Allen. The veteran shows he's still got hops. On a night the C's run to their 6th straight win, it's Ray sending home the runner-up of the night, but plays second fiddle to our Kmart special. We go a mile high with Chauncey Billups serving up the alley-oop for Kenyon Martin. Mr. Big Shot is Mr. Give a Shot to Kmart, who earns our dunk of the night.
Kenyon Martin on a great pass by Chauncey Billups.
Last shot time. T-Wolves forward Kevin Love, who's been out thus far with a broken hand, may be ready for his season debut on Saturday. Jazz forward Matt Harpering is done for the season. Magic coach Stan Van Gundy says the Nets should at least interview his assistant Patrick Ewing for their head job. On this date back in 1997, Golden State's Latrell Sprewell was suspended without pay for 1 year by Commissioner David Stern for choking coach T.J. Carlesimo. Our time is up, but on the way out, take a look and listen to our call of the night. Have a great weekend. I'm Jim Bastard.
Popping it out, it's deflected, stolen by Ginobili. Pierce is back. Ginobili behind the back. And scored! What a move by Mono Ginobili.
NBA.lt. Tavo NBA pasaulis.